As I found myself in the pivotal moment of winding down my business ownership, I gathered some valuable insights along the way that I wish I'd known. Here are just a few. The first is celebrate your journey. Reflect on the path you've taken and the challenges and victories that have shaped not only your business, but yourself. Celebrate each milestone, no matter how small. So think back about all that you accomplished with your business. For me, I owned a business for 31 years and I was young and didn't know a whole lot. I was a woman in a man's software industry. So I had to think about, what how proud I was of that. And then I had that business for 31 years and was able to successfully hand it off to three people that work for me. So I have to look back and say, yeah, that was pretty cool. So going along with that, I plan my transition very thoughtfully. That transition plan cannot be rushed. And this is why I always tell people, make the plan before you are in a desperate situation. I heard somebody the other day say that a friend of theirs had had a heart attack. They were a business owner, had a heart attack, and just was in the hospital, and just, they're not sure. Well, he had no plan. So who's going to take over the business? What does that look like? You need to control your own destiny and don't leave it up to other people. When that is your business, that's your legacy. So you need a really well thought out plan. That's very crucial. And make sure that everyone is informed and everyone is included in your plan because you want to preserve your legacy. That was the big thing for me that I said, I don't want to sell to a private equity, or I wanted to sell to somebody that was in the business, or people really that worked for me was my plan. And because I wanted my legacy to be preserved, where I could look back and say, I started that was mine, and they are going and they're taking my foundation and going forward. That was my plan. When I started my business succession plan, I was in my late 50s. So I really wasn't ready to exit the business, but I knew that the plan would take some time. As it was, it took 5 years. One of the years being COVID was the problem. So it could have been 4 years. But in that time, passing that knowledge of 31 years and how to lead the business and what's our core value and what's the culture of the business and how are they going to be leaders, that was all incorporated into that really quick 4 years. It goes fast, but you have to have a plan for that to preserve your legacy and make sure that it's going to live on. The other part of it is you should nurture relationships and that last a lifetime. So I have people that I've met over the years because of business that are lifelong connections. Some clients, some partners, some peers, people like that, and maybe our friendships kind of came and gone because of business, in and out because of business and how busy things are. And then when I sold the business, I got back in touch with some of those people to reconnect because they were very important to me in my life. Um, the other thing, too, this is huge, embrace new beginnings. So while you're winding down, it's not an end. It may be an end to that chapter in the story of your life, but it's not the end. So for me, that was a great chapter in the story of my life. But I knew that that wasn't the end of my book. So I need to do some other things and help other business owners with their succession and filling in that gap of how do you teach them to be owners of the company. So for me, that was my passion. The other piece of it was becoming certified on emotional intelligence. So I coach people that are either leaders or emerging leaders on emotional intelligence and how that affects the business. The nice thing about it is that it's just me and I'm not responsible for anyone else. And then I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. And it's just become a different chapter. So this is chapter two for me. So think about what is your chapter two? A lot of times when I ask people, why do you not just sell the business? Why are you still in the business? It's because they don't know what chapter two is. What does that look like? But I'll tell you, chapter two is very freeing. It's extremely freeing. So winding down is both an end and a beginning. And as we transition, focus on the legacy that you're going to leave and the opportunities that lie ahead. The opportunities are limitless. I talk to a lot of people who have sold their businesses and the things that they're doing, volunteer work, helping with their kids, helping with their grandkids, doing a business like me, a solopreneur. Uh, there's all kinds of things that, or doing nothing is the other thing too, which sometimes doesn't sound too bad, does it? So those are some of the things that I wanted you to consider when you think about what, why, how, why and how would I make this happen in my life? And there is a chapter two. Everybody should have a chapter two. Don't wait too long for your chapter two. Thanks so much. And I hope that your journey goes perfectly.